All right, I want to start this lesson by giving all glory, honor, and praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rekah HaKodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles and teachers and wise men of great millstone that I learned this truth from through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Salutations out there to the elect. All right, I want to do a quick lesson going into how there is a controversy with the inhabitants of the land. And I'm going to start right here in Hosea 4:1. As the title states, it says God's controversy with Israel. But now this scripture can be applied to how, there's a controversy with the inhabitants of, the land that the Israelites are in now. Because we're as it is this day, we are in captivity, you see. And, our people were, unrighteous back then after falling after the ways of the heathen. And now this scripture can be applied to the land of our captivity, because this land, you see, there's a controversy. The Lord has a controversy with the inhabitants of this land as well. So let's read right here. Let's start at verse 1 in the book of Hosea. This is Hosea 4:1. It says, "Hear the word of the Lord, ye children of Israel." It says, "For the Lord have a controversy with the inhabitants of the land, because there is no truth, nor mercy, nor knowledge of God in the land." Verse 2, it says, "By swearing and by lying and by killing and stealing and committing adultery, they break out, blood toucheth blood." You see? So this scripture, it was talking about the Israelites, which a lot of our people, they begin to follow after the ways of the heathen and to commit wickedness, by what? By lying, swearing, killing, stealing, committing adultery. It says they break out and blood touching blood. But right now we're in the land of our captivity. So with the inhabitants of the land, it's talking about the wicked of our people, and with these other nations, because they're naturally wicked too. So let's give you an example of that controversy. Let's play this video. Let's start this video right here. Let's give you an example of that controversy with the inhabitants of the land. All right. Now, if you've been keeping up with this story, this is a update on the that situation that happened with that McDonald's worker that stabbed her manager. So this is an update with that. Let's play the video and I'll get some more scriptures.
Forced into action to arrest a relative of the manager who was stabbed to death at a McDonald's. This briefly paused the court hearing for Afeni Muhammad, who will now head to trial for the murder of Jennifer Harris. This afternoon, a judge determined there was enough evidence of murder and unlawful use of a weapon. During the hearing, prosecutors played Muhammad's interrogation with an East Point police officer from July. Muhammad appears to admit to the stabbing after saying she'd been bullied by her manager numerous times before. Prosecutors explained her actions.
As Miss Harris is working, prepping the food, she sets upon her and begins to stab her. There was no argument. There was no talking. And as we saw from that video, the defendant stabbed Jennifer Harris around 13 times all over her body, but specifically in vital areas. When she went in there to confront her, to kill her, that she intended to kill Jennifer Harris. And when she did this, it wasn't in a manic state. It wasn't some emotional outburst. She came in calmly to do all these things.
Afeni Muhammad's next court hearing will be December 2nd at 9 a.m. They get to Fern.
And as you can see from the title, it says the woman charged in McDonald's murder headed to trial, you see. And it says her next, as he stated, let's listen to him again.
She came in calmly to do all these things.
Afeni Muhammad's next court hearing will be December 2nd at 9 a.m. They get to Fern.
So she's going to have another court hearing. in December, but that's not judgment. That's not righteous judgment that's being administered. I mean that's Salakia. Got to get my words together. That's not righteous judgment that is proceeding. You know, as far as the situation goes, because she murdered somebody, and she looks like a so-called black woman, which she could be an Israelite, and according to our laws, let's get it. You see, let's get it. Salakia, bear with me. According to the Israelite law, you see, this is Deuteronomy 25:1. It says, if there be a controversy between men and they come unto judgment, you see, that's not proper judgment being administered, because she unalived somebody and she should immediately be put to death. You see, as a matter of fact, let's get that. Let's see, men's blood. All right, it says, Salakia, by man. All right, this is Genesis 9:6. It says, whosoever shedded man's blood, by man shall his blood be shed, for he is in the image of God. For he is in the image of God. Salakia, for in the image of God made he man. You see, and going to one of our laws, it says, let's get it. Then I'll go back. All right, it says, let's see, shall not kill. You're not supposed to kill your brother or murder your brother. It says Leviticus 22. Well, this is Leviticus 22 and 28. It says, and whether Salakia, that's not right. Salakia, let's find the right one. Let's see. Salakia. Let's get it. I want to get the right one. Bear with me. This is yep, there we go. Exodus. It's in Exodus and it's in Deuteronomy. It says Exodus 20 and 13. It says, thou shalt not kill. Deuteronomy 5 and 17. It says, thou shalt not kill or murder. You see, that's what it should say, murder, because you can kill animals, because of sacrifice and whatnot. But thou shalt not murder. And what did she do? She murdered that other so-called black lady, which could have been an Israelite. And you see, and which means she should have been put to death. But they're going to have another trial for her. So that's a controversy that the Lord has with the inhabitants of the land, because there's no truth. And the truth is that she should be put to death. But let's go back to Deuteronomy 25 and 1. It says, if there be a controversy between men, let's go into it. It says sundry laws, you see? It says, if there be a controversy between men and they come unto judgment, that the judges may judge them, you see? And these judges are talking about Israelites, you see? The true judges of the earth, the rulers of the people of Israel. Because these heathens are wicked. They're not going to do proper judgment. You see? They're not going to, they're going to have trials and whatnot, which it's a closed and shut case, to tell you the truth, because she committed murder. So she should be put to death. It says, then they shall justify the righteous and condemn the wicked. And as you saw in the video, the lady that was killed, you see, she will be considered, the one that was innocent or righteous, and this is the wicked. You see, she should have been condemned or put to death, not have another trial. But that's a part of that controversy that the Lord has with the inhabitants of the land, particularly with our people, but also the land of the heathen that are around about us. Because the Lord put us in captivity because of our wickedness. And these heathens, they're naturally ungodly and unrighteous, especially the sons of the wicked, the Edomites. You see.
Ferndale, that city has ended its partnership with Flock Safety. That's a company that uses those cameras to read vehicle.
She should have been put to death. Let's get another video. Let's play the second one. So that's the controversy that the Lord has with the inhabitants of the land, because there's no truth, nor mercy, nor knowledge of God in the land. You see. Which the truth is that she should have been put to death. All right, let's watch this second video. Salakia. It's going to play. Because she broke, she went against the law, statutes, and commandments of the Lord, which she committed murder. So she should be put to death. Whosoever shedded man's blood, by man shall his blood be shed. You see, but the earth is given, like Job 9:24 states, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof, you see. And one of those ways he covers the faces of the judges thereof is by what? Not administering.
We got a huge announcement to make. We just launched one of the most epic giveaways for the holidays. One lucky person.
By not administering proper judgment. Let's wait till this ad go by. You see? All right, let's play this second video. So she should have never got a second trial.
We're going to go now to our other top story today. Chaos inside an East Point courtroom as the suspect in July's deadly McDonald's stabbing faced a judge. The victim's daughter tackled by police after leaving the courtroom and allegedly returning with a knife. But the hearing continued with prosecutors revealing how and why Afeni Muhammad allegedly stabbed her manager to death. 7 News Detroit reporter Ruta Alsanaida inside the courtroom. She's showing us what happened today and what comes next.
It was a dramatic day here at District Court in East Point as prosecutors played the surveillance video of what they say is Afeni Muhammad killing Jennifer Harris. It's that video that set off a chain reaction and left Jennifer Harris's 17-year-old daughter behind bars. This right here is video of the chaotic aftermath of the 17-year-old daughter of Jennifer Jama Harris, who was tackled and arrested by police in the lobby of 38th District Court. East Point police say she brought a knife into the courthouse after seeing the disturbing surveillance video of her mother's murder in court. Harris's family was then barred from returning to the courtroom for the rest of Friday's hearing. Prosecutors releasing new video on what they say is 26-year-old Afeni Muhammad, her face covered with some sort of mask, a large knife hidden under her arm, walking into the back of the East Point McDonald's on July 10th, where she and her manager, Jennifer Harris, worked. Prosecutors say Muhammad was sent home earlier that day by Harris for slacking off. She later returned, allegedly stabbing Harris at least 13 times.
Even though Jennifer Harris had collapsed on her back, bleeding, the defendant intended to finish the job on the ground.
You can see in this interrogation video where Muhammad shows investigators exactly how she stabbed the victim, saying she felt no remorse because Harris constantly, quote, bullied her at work.
I feel better.
Prosecutors say the only reason the attack stopped is because Good Samaritan Devontae Pace, who was in the drive-thru and saw everything, fired a warning shot towards the attacker.
I guess it would be a warning shot because she didn't get hit, but it definitely was towards her, and I didn't mind shooting her, so I was shooting at her.
Judge Kathleen Galen finding enough probable cause to order Muhammad to stand trial, so she will be back in court December 2nd. As for Harris's daughter, who is accused of bringing that knife to court, prosecutors are considering charges for her actions in court. In East Point, I'm Rudolph Sinaida, 7 News Detroit.
And as you saw, I'm going to end the lesson, but as you saw, you know, she should have never got a second trial, or it should not have continued. You know, she should have immediately have been, you know, unalived or put to death because she went against the law that says thou shalt not kill, you see, and going against the laws of God. When the inhabitants goes against the laws of God, that's why there's a, you know, that's when the Lord has a controversy with the inhabitants of the land, you see. So that's a part of that controversy. All right, let's read it again and I'll end the lesson. All right. All right. This is Hosea 4:1. Hear ye the word. Hear the word of the Lord, ye children of Israel. You see, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and the Seminole Indians. It says, for the Lord have a controversy with the inhabitants of the land. You see, the land of your captivity. And that includes our people too, you see. It says, because there's no truth. The truth is that she should have been unalived as soon as she, you know, as soon after she unalived that lady, you know, there should have been no trial. You see, that should have been an open and shut case. She should have been put to death. It says, nor mercy, you see, nor mercy, nor knowledge of God in the land. It says, by swearing and lying and killing and stealing and committing adultery, they break out blood touching blood, you see. And this is what happens when the earth is given into the hands of the wicked, and he covered the faces of the judges thereof, you see. Because, you see, when the Israelites were in rule, well, you know, our proper judgment would have been the righteous judgment to what? To have put her to death because she unalived the person. You see? So I'll end the lesson here. All praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushua, Bahashim, Rakakwadash. Shalom.
See in this interrogation video where Muhammad shows investigators exactly how